Empty bottles of red wine laying on the floor from last night. We got a little drunk, yeah. Now I'm a little numb. Spending hours by your bedside, talking till it's dark out somehow. Can get you off my.
All right, you guys. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome back to Snack Cackle Talk. I am your host, Lacey. Um, I swear, every time I get on here, I'm always having a problem out of TikTok. Okay. uh, so TikTok, let's try again. But to everybody else, today is Freestyle Thursday. This is Snack Cackle Talk, and I am your host, Lacey. Let's see, can I get them? I get it set up on TikTok. You can see me wonderfully, and then all of a sudden, when I go live, you can't see me anymore. So let's see if I can't fix that real quick before I actually jump into my topic. All right, so now I can see myself again. I can see myself on TikTok again. I'm sorry, y'all. But for those of you that are already on here, I'm going to give everybody a couple of minutes to jump on this live. Today, like I said, is Freestyle Thursday, where we talk about anything. And today's topic that I chose to speak on today is how a simple error almost canceled my right to vote. Okay, that is the topic for today. Is how that almost cost me my vote. And um, oh goodness, I'm over here doing something I don't have no business doing. It's always something. It is always something. But anyway, I guess I'll figure it out directly sooner or later. Okay. Well, I'm going to move right along anyway. For those of you that are new to my channel, you guys already know that I would like to welcome you guys to my channel, welcome you guys to subscribe to my channel, welcome you guys to post comments to my channel. Let me know what you think on my content. Even if you don't like it, I still would like to hear about it. Who knows? I may care enough to change something up. Okay. I just might. But then again, I might not. Okay. Um, with that being said, so I just kind of wanted, before I get started, I saw some news on Brittany Mahomes joining the women's soccer league as a co-owner. So I'm not a Mahomes fan. I am proud of his accomplishments. Okay. I am proud of his accomplishments because he is from right up the street from where I live, and that is here in East Texas. Okay. He is from White House. I am from Tyler. We are literally neighbors. Okay. um, but I am proud of his accomplishments, and likewise, his wife is trying to branch out and stand alone. Okay. So congratulations to Brittany Mahomes on her new journey that she's branching out to start out in. Also, I can't get myself right today. Okay, there was something else I wanted to say, but I have no idea, so I'm just gonna move on. But TikTok, I will say this to you guys. I'm not too familiar with everything. I am still learning, you guys, but I have set my first goal to just have at least one subscriber to my content to help me continue to bring you guys more content. I am on here. At least I try to be on here 2 days a week now. I used to be on here three, but my work schedule just will not allow it. But I'm going to be off from work from my job for the holiday season for 2 weeks. So that will allow me to create more content for you guys. And I might come on and reopen back up temporarily my Hot Topic Tuesdays, but I still have my Freestyle Thursdays, which is today, where I talk about practically anything. And then I am guaranteed to be on here every Saturday, which is my original day, every Saturday, for my relationship topics on how we can help bring the relationship to better terms. Okay, so if you guys feel like subscribing to my channel, I know it comes at a cost and I do appreciate it. Trust me and believe me, I will definitely appreciate it. Other than that, you definitely can follow my content and follow me on my other platforms, everybody. I'm on Facebook, Snack Cackle Talk, YouTube, Snack Cackle Talk, Instagram, Snack Cackle Talk, and of course, TikTok, Snack Cackle Talk. And that is Cackle with a K. Okay, so moving right into this topic. Okay, so how a simple mistake almost cost me my vote, y'all. I didn't know if I should be mad about it, concerned, scared. I honest to God did not know how to feel. Okay, so I'm gonna back this issue up, this era. I'm gonna back it up a whole year. Okay, because this all started with the presidential election. Okay, it all started with the presidential election. Now, down here in Texas, we are a red state. Let's start there. We are a red state. But when the Democratic voters go to vote, they always seem to cancel out more than 100+ thousand votes. Okay. Last year, they canceled out almost 200,000 minority Black votes. Okay. So when I went to go vote last year, it took me maybe about 30, 30 minutes or so, 45 minutes at best to try to get to vote because my information was incorrect. Crazy, right? They had me down for the wrong address and my name was misspelled. And the crazy part is that you mail me my voter registration card, everything is correct, but the information in the computer was wrong. So I had to fill out all this information card, paperwork, and stuff like that in order for me to have the right to vote. Okay, that was a smooth transition. They gave me comfort and letting me know like, hey, there's nothing to worry about. Just step to the side over here, fill out these forms, and you will get your right to vote. Okay. Now that was last year. This year, when I get there, I got there after work, after I worked my first job. I got there and there was already a line outside into the foyer. And I was out there with more than 40+ people ahead of me. Okay. So That was a wait all by itself. And then when I finally make it to the front of the line so that I can sign in my registration, this is the mistakes that I made. And a lot of people in front of me also made that same mistake, but it was not an issue. It was just an issue when I got up there for sure. Uh, we tend to show up without our registration card. Now, that was the very first time that I ever went to vote without my registration card. Okay. The very first time. Anytime that I voted before that, I always had my registration card. But this time I did not have my registration card. I could I had my husband's card, I had my daughter's card. We keep them together, but my card was not there. Even the previous votes cards were there because they were a different color. All three cards were there. And we just could not find my card. So I said, okay, it's fine. I have my ID. That should be fine. They can sign me in with just my ID. I'm gonna go vote. But when I got up there to register to vote, I couldn't go vote this time. And it didn't require me to fill out paperwork to allow me the right to vote. It was different this time, which I didn't want to fill that paperwork out again anyway, because I had just done it the year before. I just done it last year. So I wasn't understanding why my information was wrong again. This time, the information error was my date of birth. My date of birth was wrong. Now, listen here. I'm 44 and I have absolutely no problem with stating my age, okay? I ain't trying to look like nobody, but me, myself, and I. I have absolutely no problem aging. I have absolutely no problem graying. I have absolutely no problem getting wrinkles on my face, which I do not have. I do have my aging freckles, but I've had those since I was in my 20s. I have absolutely no problem. 44 looks wonderful on me, and I'm finna turn 45 in a couple of weeks. So we're gonna get that out the way. But it was stating that my date of birth puts me at a younger age. Now, who wouldn't stand to be like, okay, well, I mean, y'all can issue me a new birth date if it's gonna tell me I'm younger than what I really am. But for me, I was like, what? Why would y'all have that as my date of birth when I had to fill out an information card just last year? And my date of birth was never even an issue. I didn't understand why my address was an issue because I've been at my address for a very long time. I didn't understand why my name was an issue, considering the fact that you mailed me my voter registration cards like clockwork, and all the information on those cards are always correct. And I've never had a problem. I think it was because the votes really mattered and they was trying to silence a lot of votes. They was trying to fix the race. So I was like standing there. The guy's like, "Well, I don't know how I can get you to vote." Listen, what time is voting over? 6, 7 o'clock? All right. I mean, I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. And y'all better figure it out. I'm not going nowhere. I had a whole line behind me that passed me up at least 2 times. At least 2 times. I was there trying to vote for 2 hours, past the time of me even being there waiting through the line the first time. That was me trying to get to vote. 2 hours I was there trying to get the right to vote. So, my message to everybody, like, when y'all go vote, make sure that you have more than just your ID. Yes, they can register you with your ID. I had my ID and they still could not seem to register me. That was the crazy part. And even though putting in my information in every which way, form or fashion, that they could try to put it in there to try to find the correct me, only one me kept showing up, and it was the wrong me. Y'all, I didn't know. I was upset, but I didn't act a fool. I didn't raise my voice. I was totally respectful. I was just like laughing, like, are you serious? Like, y'all for real? Because this is the same issue I had last year, except it was for a different reason. I was like, and I've already filled out that information stuff. You want me to do that again? He said, well, no, you won't be able to do it this time. You just won't be able to vote. Oh, no. What time y'all close? What time does the voting polls close? I said, what, 6 or 7? And he said, yes, ma'am. Okay. I mean, I'm not going nowhere. It was 2 o'clock when I was standing at that table. It was after 4 o'clock when I left. After 4 o'clock when I left. That's just how crazy that whole experience was. And then I get on Facebook, and then I see some of my friends and classmates, and one of them said that they didn't get the chance to vote. They went to vote and they was denied the right to vote. And it's like, this is crazy. This is so crazy that we are going back in time. It is so crazy to have to experience this in my lifetime. It is crazy. And all this mess was just stopped at the beginning of my mom's lifetime. So that is so crazy that generational gap is that closed on history has repeated itself. And then they're trying to cancel the worth of the minority votes, especially African American votes, because we are that powerful. So for a lot of people, they felt like their votes did not matter. This tells you that your voice, your vote matters. This right here tells you the distance that they are willing to go to make sure they win, or to cancel out individuals' votes, or to diminish the value of a person's votes, when all votes should be equal. That tells you that your voice and your vote matters. So when it's time to go vote, go out there and vote. This, I always wondered, like, I wonder what would happen. This was in my younger year. I was like, I wonder what would happen if people if everybody just chose not to vote. This is what happens. Look at the BS that you get stuck with when you don't go and exercise your right to vote. And then I sit and think about everything that everyone, our ancestors, have gone through to everything that our ancestors have gone through to fight for our rights, to have this right to vote. And for us to not go out there and continue what is still a struggle. It is so sad that it is still a struggle for us for today. Because, like I said, I didn't know how to feel. But I know definitely if it was finalized that I could not vote, I know for a fact I probably would have just cried. I probably would have just cried. That's a guaranteed fact. I'm that sensitive. I can sit right here on this channel and cry right now. So it's like to see a lot of people not care, but yet they have a lot to say. You don't get to have a say. Now, I am literally saying this. You do not get to have a say if you don't feel like you should go vote. The same way you kept your mouth shut on voting, keep your mouth shut on having something to say. Yes, I said it. I mean what I said. If you don't want to go vote, then you don't want to say nothing about it either. Just keep your mouth shut, just like you chose not to go vote. Plain and simple. Because your voice, your vote, it did and it does matter. Plain and simple. Now that I'm over that part, now here's the embarrassing part of my experience that I had with voting. Okay. So I'm not a political person, but too many people ahead of me went through too much to give me the right to stand here as I am. So I'm not going to dare disrespect the struggle. Okay. But I'm not knowledgeable in politics. I won't lie. But I still want to go vote because I want my voice and my rights to be respected, and I want them to be heard, and I want them to matter. That's why I go vote. So here's the embarrassing part. So when I did finally get the chance to go vote, I sat there and I had the wrong impression on why I was even there to, like, what was I there to vote for? What is this? Totally caught me off guard. I will not lie, because I did not follow what was going on. That was my mistake. Two, I was under the wrong impression on what I was voting for. Okay. Now I was receiving a lot of emails from a lot of politicians asking for my vote, asking for my support, and all this kind of nonsense. No, I don't answer my emails, but these are the emails that I got. So I was under the impression that I was voting for a person, a position. That's what I thought I was voting for. Plus, all of the commercials, the political commercials that I was seeing were of people. So when I sat there in front of that poll to vote, and that's not even what it was, at first, when I saw the first few questions, I was like, oh, okay, well, let me see what this is about, because I don't know nothing about this stuff. Like, this is literally how I was looking like, huh? Like, what? Let me see how I can figure this out. And I look around, and I had one person on each side of me, and they looked just as confused as I did. I took that in. They looked just as confused as I did. But I answered the first question because I wasn't for sure. I was like, how am I supposed to answer this? Like, am I supposed to answer this? Or am I just supposed to skip it and go to the next page? So I did skip that page. I went to the next page and there was some more questions just like it. So I was like, oh, that's not an information page. I'm supposed to answer this. I go back and I take the time to read and reread and read and reread and read and reread those few little questions that was on the first page so that I could answer those questions before I moved on. And it was only a total of 3 pages. And the third page wasn't even a full page. I literally had no idea what I was voting for. That was my embarrassing moment. Is that yes, I was ready for my voice to be heard. Yes, I was ready for my vote to count. But I didn't know what I was voting for. I was literally confused. And but thankfully I wasn't that confused to what I just said, okay, agree, 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 agree 17 times. Because it was only 17 questions, literally. It was only 17 questions. And thankfully, I was not that confused to just agree to everything. I did object to at to oh goodness, here we go with this again. Okay, something's not right. I see something's not right. Hold on, y'all. Something is wicked this way come. Okay, let's see what we got going on here that's wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. See if that could have fixed what my issue is. And it did not. And I do not want that going off the entire time. So I apologize. And then I'm just going to make this whole thing quick because that will go off the entire time that I'm on here. And I do not want that. But back to what I was saying, that I was totally confused on what I was voting for. I had absolutely no idea what I was voting for. The two people that were sitting beside me, they clearly looked just as confused as I did. There were some people sitting at that table before I even got over there, and they were still sitting at that table just like I was still sitting at that table, like they had no idea how to vote. That's literally how everything was going. And so if you went to vote, what I want to know is, how was your voting experience? Like, were you aware of what we were voting for? How did you feel about the way you voted? And how did you feel about some of the issues that were on the ballot? Okay, how did you feel? Because after I got through voting, I I had to call my political professional. I had to call my husband's cousins. I was like, we always talk about this stuff, and I have to tell you that I was confused about what I was voting for. So can you explain it to me? And he explained it to me. I said, okay, great. I feel at ease. I feel comfortable now with feeling like I voted correctly. Okay. I did take my time, like I said, to read and reread more than twice, at least guaranteed 3 times. And I did answer in a way that I felt like I should have answered when I did those questions. Because I could have got frustrated because I'm confused, and I could have just ex- agreed to everything and went on. I could have. I could have. But thankfully, after speaking with him, it put my heart and my mind at ease with the knowledge that I felt like I made the right choices, because I did take my time and I did not agree and disapprove to quite a few things. Okay. Instead of just saying, you know what, I'm not prepared for this. Agree, 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 and in the ballot and get out of there. I'm glad I didn't do that. But I could tell that the people that were around me were just as confused as I was. And they were sitting there for a long time. Some of them was already sitting there before I got there. And then I got done before some of them. So I just want to know, like, if you voted, how did you feel about your vote? Um, and everything like that. You know, what was your voting experience? If you feel like sharing, I would love to hear it. Uh, Other than that, you guys, I don't have anything else left to say. I will be back on here this Saturday with my topic. I missed my own anniversary. I missed my own anniversary, but it's only because my 2-year anniversary of Snack Cackle Talk was last Saturday, and we had to drive the grandkids home. So that is why I didn't make it home in time to do my live. By the time I made it home, just that trip going up there and coming right back the same day, I was tired and exhausted. And plus we was already up early entertaining the grandbabies anyway. So all I wanted to do when I got home was do my homework and go to bed. And that's exactly what I did. But I will be on here this Saturday with that same topic, and I would love for you guys to join me. Okay. I would love for y'all to join me when I come back on here this Saturday with my topic. And like I said, TikTok, if you feel like subscribing, hey, my goal is to at least get one subscriber. Okay. And if I can't get that, at least follow my content for more. Okay. I will be totally satisfied. Okay. Other than that, you guys, I always ask you guys to subscribe to my channel on YouTube and give me the thumbs up if you like this content. And please feel free to comment. Okay. Whether you like it or not, I'm A-okay with it. And other than that, hit that notification bell for more content. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye, bye, bye. Maybe we should take it slow. I don't feel too comfortable jumping into something new right now.